I've gotten to that mama bear phase because I'm like, why am I working now? I became a new person after having a baby.
Sometimes people can be crying and both of us are crying together.
Mhm.
Why are you crying?
Mhm.
Why is this baby crying? Can you just stop?
My child has to be okay.
Thank you.
See, ladies, whatever you do in this life, try to pick a good partner.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the Green Coach, a place where we nurture your roots so that you have the right fruit. Today's episode is a special one, an extremely special one. We're going to be diving into a secret topic, right? Motherhood. Okay, Grace, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So, first, how are you? How are you? How have you been? How are you doing?
The serious one or the
Everything. Give us
everything.
yes.
Okay. I would say I'm fine, but I would say I'm tired too.
Oh.
You know, realistically, I'm tired. But generally speaking, I'm fine. I had a very long day yesterday. I took my daughter to work yesterday. It was very eventful. Having a toddler is not for the weak, but
No.
generally speaking, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm happy to be here with the Green Coach herself. Yay.
Awesome. Okay, amazing. I love that. So we're going to be starting with the first time you found out that you were pregnant.
Okay.
What was the reaction?
Short story. I cried.
Tears of joy or tears of like.
No, well, now tears of happiness, but at the time I was like, how would I take care of a baby? I can't take care of myself. You know, it was so, people will say, how is it unexpected? You kind of knew that was going to happen, but to be fair, I did not know what was going to happen. For like 2 months, I didn't know I was pregnant.
Oh, wow.
Throughout, and I was still going out. But I knew something was a bit off because, I like cold and everything, but this one was odd. I would be somewhere with a lot of people and I'm like, it's hot. That's how, I decided. Somebody now reached out to me. Let me tell you how I found out I was pregnant. Someone now reached out to me. Cousin reached out to my husband and said to him, congratulations, my cousin is pregnant. She had never spoken to him before. She's in the UK. And then he's like, oh, thank you. It's just probably food. And I used to have a very small frame. And then, he talked to me about it and we laughed and like, pregnancy, pregnancy knee. We decided to check. It was like a joke. And then we checked. I saw 2 lines. I screamed. I was crying. I'm like, what am I going to do? Because in my head, I didn't think that I had the mental and emotional resource to be able to function as a mom, function as somebody who would be a caregiver to somebody else, let alone, be a mom. So it was something that took me aback. But yeah, we thank God we're here now.
I had a different experience actually. But agreement to my husband at the time was to wait a year.
Yeah.
Right. That was always, let's enjoy our 1 year, yada, yada, yada. I don't know. I think maybe 3 months, 4 months into, I'm like, you know what? I'm ready. I think I don't know why. I just feel like I'm ready. I want it to happen now. Very ready.
Yeah.
My husband was like, what is,
why the rush?
Do you get? And so, he wasn't overly ready. So he wasn't necessarily trying to, but I was trying to, without whether he was aware or not. But anyway, so when he came, I was more than excited. I didn't know what I was going to get into. It was after like, oh my God. But that initial, I'm going to have a baby. I was
really excited.
Everyone will always have like different, experiences. And I just wanted to get, yours and how you felt at the beginning.
Yeah, it became exciting afterwards. It was scary at first, but then it became really exciting afterwards. And then my bump started to grow, and then I started to see changes in my, all those things like added to the excitement. I'm like, oh, so I'm going to be a mommy.
Yeah.
Before, it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
Because I just want to, okay, first of all, I got pregnant 3 months after I got married. I found out I was pregnant
Oh,
3 months
that's pretty
after. So it was
immediately.
pretty immediate.
Yes.
So it was like the dynamics of the house, the
House,
marriage, like I
yeah.
don't
Okay, that's pretty much immediate. I get
exactly
it. Yeah, that makes
exactly.
sense. And how would you say the journey of pregnancy was for you?
Okay. So mine wasn't. It was really lonely. It was lonely
Oh.
because I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell just my immediate family.
Mm-hmm.
Knew, and then one or two friends because they had to know because they weren't seeing me online anymore. They were
Mm-hmm.
reaching out to me and I wasn't picking their
Picking.
calls and I wasn't. So it was a matter of, see, if you don't respond to me now, a threat, I will call your husband. I will harass your husband online. What has he done to our friend? And at some point I had to just say, you know what, I'm pregnant. But, it was such a lonely journey, emotionally, mentally. The first trimester was really, really lonely. Some of us would have morning sickness and all
Mm-hmm.
that. I didn't have any of those things, but it was very crippling on my mental health.
Mm.
I don't know. I never felt hormones that strongly in my life before. I'm
Wow.
somebody who would be very social and very like entertaining and okay, let's all sit down, let's have a good time. But I wasn't even in the mood to talk. I'll just face the wall
Mm-hmm.
and scroll through my phone endlessly. And my
Wow.
husband would come in, ask me if I'm doing okay. I would let him know that I'm doing fine, but like I just don't feel like talking. So that was the entirety of my first trimester. And the fact that I also had like this underlying pain that I was feeling, that I happened to now go to the hospital and found out that it was a fibroid, which was causing a lot of pain. When I say crippling pain, at first I was like, okay, they said when you're pregnant at first you feel something. Then one day I was crying. I'm like, I don't think this is what people are feeling because it's so pain. I couldn't lie down. I couldn't sit. I would only be on all fours
Wow.
throughout my first trimester. So I had to be taken to the hospital because at some point they started to be bleeding in my
Mm.
womb because of the fibroid, and they said the fibroid was growing with the fetus. So the fetus they were trying to struggle for the space.
Space.
So
Wow.
it caused me a lot of pain. And I guess that kind of pain also made me feel a lot of stress emotionally and mentally.
Mm.
And I think that's why I really did not want to tell people what was happening because it was just a lot going on for me to start saying, "Oh yeah, I'm pregnant! Yay, happy news!" Because like I knew what I was battling with behind the scene, and so
Mm.
yeah, it was a very very lonely. Like I would even feel emotional just thinking about how lonely that was. Some of us would express to
Yeah.
everybody, "I'm pregnant." Everybody's just which is great and all. I'm very happy for those who are able to do so, but I
Mm-hmm.
didn't feel it in my heart to be able to really
Share.
share that I was pregnant. So yeah, that was my
Wow.
first
That's
trimester.
very tough because
Yeah.
I can't imagine not having people to, talk to and get that
Right.
support because
Right.
especially because as first time moms, we don't know what we're
Right.
doing. There's so many things that guesswork we're
Mhm.
asking.
Mhm.
Wow. Because I think the final question I'll ask would be around pregnancy would be birth plan versus reality. How was it
Mhm.
for you? Did you have a plan or how did you imagine your labor to look like? How was it for you?
Mm. So my label, this is I don't subscribe. I wouldn't tell any new mom to subscribe to this.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that every other person out there should just listen to their body.
Mm-hmm.
The Holy Spirit is your friend in that space. I mean, the Holy Spirit should always be your friend, but during this time, lean not on your own understanding because there's really nothing that you will gain from looking at what other people are doing and the fears that come with it.
Mm-hmm.
And in this time, the Holy Spirit was my 5 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
And, throughout, I would tell myself that I was going to push the baby out and God was going to be with me, of course. But because I don't know if I told you about my baby's name and how it came about.
Yeah.
Yes, I was sleeping one day through the pain that I was going through the first trimester, and the her name was like it was just mouthing through my mouth. It was like Jidenna, and I didn't know what the meaning of the name was. And by the time I called my mom, who is Igbo, to tell me what the meaning of the name was, she told me, "Hold on to God." And because of that, it was almost like a revelation to me to hold on to God. So throughout the planning or whatever, it was just holding on to God and the understanding that He's here with me. And so back to your question, the birthing plan. I did not have a concrete birthing plan. I'm not saying everybody should not have. People should have, do what works for you. But I personally did not have a birthing plan. I just had a process of trust. Okay, when I get to that point, I am pretty sure I would know. But I did prepare. I had my baby's clothes and everything packed. We were always ready for, when it's time and all. That one aside, I didn't know whether I was going to push or go through a cesarean section. I had no idea. It was up until the last minute, like maybe I was 8 months gone. I told my husband, I don't know if I have it in my heart to push. And then it's like, see, whatever works for you. And then 9 months in, I was contracting. I was going to, I was taken to the hospital, and it felt like I was going to push, but then my cervix continued to close. And we were like, okay, let's just do the cesarean section. Cesarean section, excuse me. So it was a cesarean section that I had to go through. It was, yeah. So I didn't really have a concrete plan. Maybe some of you that are organized to probably have like, day one, this is how you should do it. I start eating pineapple at the end of did you have the pineapple thing? You eat ripe pineapple or dates, and then to ripen your cervix.
Yeah.
I didn't care for any of those things. I just wanted the baby out of me. Yeah, and it was through a cesarean section. So yeah, that's.
Okay, let me share mine and why I absolutely agree with you. Because yes, someone like me, I had a plan, right? I had said I wanted to. I mean, obviously, that several reasons, but at the time, I wanted to give birth. I wanted to push my baby out. And a bunch of other plans and everything. Because if you read all the books and you see all the things and you just, and I think one thing I really agree with you. Sometimes when you have a plan, because you don't have control of this thing. So you can plan all you want and most of the time it may not, it rarely ever comes exactly because this is a human life. You cannot one for one say you want to predict, how things would happen. And I think it was a disadvantage for me somewhat that because I felt like I was stuck to my plan. And I think the major thing was I wanted to push my baby because I just felt like that was like maybe the right, no, I won't say the right way. I just feel like that was just what I was feeling like should happen. No, let me push my baby. Let me, experience the labor experience. But the way it happened, it was because I did everything. I ate the dates. Oh my God. Like 5 weeks towards, my due dates, I was eating, my husband was feeding me dates as if it was, I was eating dates morning, afternoon, night. God, like till now, I can't eat date again because of how much, I ate it. I was eating dates. I was walking up and down trying to show that, okay, say if you do this, your cervix will be faster. What, just trying to listen to watching YouTube videos, doing all those things they said I should do so that when it's time, and then also confessing, and all of that. I mean, I don't know, I was also praying and just trusting God because when the time came, every single thing went out of the window. All the plans and everything, I was in labor for 14 hours. Right. And, so my baby was big. My baby was bigger than normal, like bigger than, I can't remember, it was 13 pounds, right? And the doctors were not, they should have told me from the beginning that, see, you have to do, but let's just try. I was in how many centimeters, maybe whatever, for hours. And, after a point, they're like, see, this baby's head, because when it checked, this baby's head is too big. Even if you want to force it, I'll end up having to tear a lot. And, so after that, I had to eventually do cesarean, which cost us a lot of money because if it was planned, it would have been maybe better. But because I was holding on to, no, I don't want to. And then, but God still came through for me. God still showed up for me in ways that I can't imagine. But somewhat, because I had that plan, I still felt hurt because I didn't sort of, because I was holding on to,
it's exactly how you want it. Yeah.
And that's not how God works. You have a healthy baby that's alive. However it comes, as long as the baby comes out, you have your beautiful baby, you're seeing, so I think I agree with you when you say, yes, plan, have the pack your baby's bag, do all of those necessary things, take to the hospital. When it's time to come, you know that you're ready, but the method should not be something you are
right. Right.
Whether it's CS, because sometimes people just say they don't just woke up one day and baby is already 9 centimeters, almost about to
See,
You get-
falling out.
Exactly. So you cannot predict how yours will go. Just pray that Lord be with me, let everything go well, and that's it. All right. So now that we are mothers, if you look back again, what would you say is the one thing people told you? So one, people told you that was true, and second, that was not your experience. Like you didn't, maybe people were always saying, but that's not
Yeah.
what happened. I don't know, when it comes to motherhood and
I'm
your baby girl.
thinking, so I'm not going to lie to you. I don't want to sound this way, but I really never sought counsel
Counsel, yeah.
from anybody.
Even as a
Or
first time mom, we're not
even
nervous.
as a first time mom. When I tell you that period of my life was so secluded, like it was just me and my prayers. And I'm not saying that all mothers should go that route because, to be honest, some people cannot differentiate when they are just in their head versus when they're getting like proper information. I am an avid researcher, so I would still back certain things up with research, but I didn't want to be so clouded with so many information at the same time because I believe that whatever it is that you're pouring in me is what would build the kind of esteem and my expectations. And I didn't want that because I knew that God that gave us this body to be able to carry babies to give us the information we need to be able to continue. And I used to tell moms when I have some people who are pregnant now, they say, oh, how did you do it? I'm like, do you want to just rely on your own, like on God and the information that you can get? Because let me tell you, as soon as this baby comes out of your hand, I understand that there are people that will tell you so many things, which is great and all. Don't have so many people have opinions. You would know how to take care of your baby by yourself without even anybody telling you this is how you should carry the baby. This how I mean, I'm not saying you should not listen to people, but it wasn't my experience. My mom had the last time she had a baby was 26 years ago, so she barely had like so much to be able to give other than the actual maternal. Let me carry the baby. Okay, this is how it is. Even when she would bathe my baby, so when I first had her, my husband would say, go and check how she's doing it so that when it's time, when she goes, you'll be able to bathe her. I said, don't worry, when it's time, let me rest, please. When it's time, I will know what to do. I didn't bathe her with the putting in between the leg and washing. I would put her in a bowl on a platform and then wash her and clean her. As long as she was clean, she was fine. So I feel like at the end of the day, we get so fixated on how to do it and how not to do it that we lose sight of the powerful information that we even possess internally. So I try to stay away from too many or too much information so that I'm not like, is this the right one or the wrong one? Because they will project.
Yeah,
They will
true.
project.
And
And
you don't have the same experience. It doesn't mean
no,
whatever happened to you also happened to her.
happened exactly. So I did hear information of, oh, don't worry, you got this. And those were the ones I actually took.
Yeah.
But the ones of, this is how you should go about it. Oh, girls, this is how they do. Boys, this is how they should. I wasn't interested in any of them and I did not even seek any of that. So yeah,
Awesome.
that was it.
Okay, so I hear that. So are you saying now that, or do you believe in that sentence that says it takes a village to raise a child, or it takes a village to raise I don't know.
Definitely. I believe that it takes a village to raise a child, but what kind of village now? Because like at the end of the day, a lot of people have become so conceited. They are so, I don't know how to put it. At the time when they say village, the village actually, they were happy for you. As you're playing, say, please take care of I'm coming out. They were happy for you. No technology, nothing. But now, the village is envious. The village is no longer, as happy. And the village is busy too. Everybody is trying to. There was a time that it was the man is bringing money to the house and the woman is okay, or vice versa, depending on the kind of household you grew up in. But now every single person is busy trying to make ends meet because of the kind of economy. So the village is not available as much as it used to be. I believe in that statement, it takes a village, but now we no longer have the village as much as we used to. So everybody is working. And so we I had to go along without
Mm-hmm.
the village,
Mm-hmm.
because for a long time it was just myself and my husband with our child.
Yeah.
You know, we had our parents, but our parents were far away, or they had businesses that they had to tender to
Yeah.
for a long time. Which, of course, like we said, the village is busy,
Mm-hmm.
and we had to just take care of our baby alone. So yes, for a long time, for a very long time. So yeah, I mean, it does take a village, but the village is no longer available,
Yeah,
and you
I
have to do.
also deeply agree with that. And
Mhm.
it also makes me think about myself before pregnancy and how I related to maybe pregnant women or women who have
Mm.
kids, because I realized that after I had children, the kind of support or the kind of expectations I wouldn't say I had expectations of other people, but
Mhm.
for example, if I go somewhere,
Mhm.
maybe with a group of people, the imagination or the thoughts that I had was, oh, I'm with people, and so because I'm with people, I'm
Mhm.
safe, and my baby is safe, and
Mhm.
but that's not true anymore. I don't know how it used to be, but like everyone is minding their business these days,
Right.
right?
Right.
So
Right.
it's left to you to ensure that you're looking at your child, you're caring for your child,
Yeah.
and sometimes I do feel hurt. I
Mhm.
think the time I went somewhere and I went my baby, all of those things, and then me going to that place was a sacrifice for
Yeah.
this person. That
Mhm.
I'm with my child and everything. However, and this has happened several times, not just one
Mhm.
person.
Mhm. Mhm.
I will go somewhere and people just don't understand the work it takes to go somewhere with a toddler, a baby boy, and the stress. Like my son is extremely active and
Mhm.
and is clingy and
Mhm.
requires my attention literally 24/7.
Mhm.
And so when I go somewhere, like I'm not, especially when I'm not with my husband, I'm not with my
Mhm.
partner, and I realize that people are not aware or intentional, or maybe we have a toddler here, we have a baby here. I'm trying not to be overly, specific, but
Yeah.
like thinking about just having it at the back of your mind that, okay, my friend is here, but
Mhm.
not just
Mhm.
my friend with a toddler.
Mhm.
There should be specific requirements, special circumstances for
Mhm.
this person because, they have a toddler with them or they have a baby
Mhm.
with them or they have whatever. So
Mhm.
what are you guys going to eat? What is this baby going to eat?
Mhm.
This is a baby will probably not eat the same food
Mhm.
as everyone. What special advantage? Like,
Yeah.
I think before those days, when you say if somebody is pregnant, oh, stand up to the pregnant woman, let the pregnant woman sit
Does not
down.
apply
All of those
anymore.
things have changed. Like,
Does
people
not
no
apply
longer give,
anymore.
the empathy has reduced. I
Yeah.
think that is the point I'm trying to make, empathy.
Mhm.
And I'm not even blaming anyone because when I was, like I said, I'm thinking about like when I was not pregnant, before I got married, how was my behavior towards
Yeah.
pregnant women, towards mothers? So this is just to
The
share to you.
realization.
If you have friends that are pregnant and all of those things, be more intentional, right? To say, okay, this person is with a baby. This person how can I show up for this
Yeah.
person? How can I help? Motherhood made me I had more compassionate
Yeah. That's the
towards,
word.
people because I know this is not easy. This thing, and my friends too that were not pregnant and are now pregnant, and I give me like, okay, now I see. What would you say is the importance of a support system? This is not the village now. This is not random strangers. This is
Mm.
like family, your partner, and your husband.
Yeah.
And just you can imagine if you didn't have it, what would
Hmm.
you have felt? Or how would you say what's the importance of having a
Hmm.
support system in this journey?
I'll have to stretch for this and crack my knuckles. See, ladies, whatever you do in this life, try to pick a good partner, a good person to get married to, a kind person, because that is the root, first of all. And my husband spoke about um evolving in marriage. And evolving would mean that your wife will get pregnant, circumstances will change around you. She's going to be hormonal sometimes. We spoke about this even before I got pregnant. I mean, I did tell God at some point before I got, this is like, I'm rewinding. I did tell God before getting pregnant that this was even before I got married, that God, whenever it is that I'm mentally and emotionally ready for a baby, let me have one. It didn't matter how long it took. I'm like, let me have one. And I think that it was evident when I started to pick um my partner, my quest to picking the kind of person I wanted, because I wasn't just thinking, oh, I want a man that would be loving and kind to me. I was thinking, will this man evolve? Is this man kind, and is this man ready to change with time? Because yeah, things might seem a bit rosy now. What if things kind of switch just a little bit? How would this person start to treat you? And I'd experienced, it wasn't a personal experience, but I met a man one time like that about, maybe 7 years ago. And this person was talking about how his wife was pregnant and she started to get irritating to him. And he was so disgusted by her because she had changed and she was always spitting. And you know what? After that encounter with that man, it became a prayer point for me, because I'm like, I will never meet this type of person in my life in Jesus' name. And I blocked him immediately, because how dare you speak about your wife that way? And so when I was speaking a person, a support, it was really, I was thinking of a good man to myself, a good father to my child. And I will tell you for a fact that it went a long way, because like I shared with you earlier, my first trimester was hell. And if I hadn't, let's assume, God forbid, that I had a man who would be like, will judge me for it. Why are you even acting up self? Are you the first person to get pregnant? It will break me. And I don't understand how, I'm even starting to get emotional thinking about how quote and unquote, how beaten up I was when I was pregnant. And imagine being beaten up and somebody is beating you while you're down. It's such a horrible, horrible place to be. I saw this actress, this Oku, I don't know, I've forgotten her name. She really resembles Genevieve. And she was saying something yesterday. She was at the gym and she said that a man posted that, look at how she looks as somebody who has kids, not like his wife that has 4 children and is looking like something that it does not know. And she addressed it immediately. And she said, how dare you say that? I have a good support system. You don't have a good support. You are not a good support system. That is why you can think that. What if your wife wants to go to the gym? What if she wants to do all of these things, but she doesn't have somebody that, be able to do so? I have somebody that is, enabling me to becoming a better version of myself. And she said men need to do better. So that support system thing, it might seem like it's just words. It goes a long way to breaking a person. Imagine somebody not having a good person in your life. You will not even want to dress up because you don't even feel good inside. You're expecting your wife to come out of delivery and start slay queen on social media. But it's a process. That internal part is your job as a man to be able to make sure that she feels beautiful inside, and that beauty would now be able to translate outside. So being a support system should not be underemphasized. It's something that should always be spoken about all the time, because pregnancy is I wouldn't call it a treacherous journey because that's too harsh. It's a beautiful journey, yes, because you have a baby coming in. But the woman, you hear that all her organs are shifting to accommodate the baby. She's in such fragility. Like, she's in a place of, I want to be, like, you're supposed to cater to her like this. And I'm so happy that that was how my pregnancy was. Regardless of how I was feeling mentally, I had a man who treated me like every day should be a red carpet event. And he would literally, if my husband could lay on the ground for me to step on, he would do so. And that was the kind of support system that I had during pregnancy. And unfortunately, not everybody has that kind of support system. That's what I would say to ladies. Please, kindness. However, please, let's not settle below that, because there's nothing after kindness when it comes to picking a person, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So that's all I can say
That's
about
emotional.
that.
Hope you are sharing. Ladies, hope you are sharing. I think the next question, with motherhood, that I'm going to ask is the shift. Was there a shift? I mean, before you're a mother, you're an
Yeah.
incredibly ambitious person. You're a
Yeah.
career woman. You're very, go to, I want to do this, you do this. That's the kind of person, based off what I know about you. Would you say, was there a shift? Was that affected? the identity shit, like that, just your identity? Was motherhood like a plus to that, or did it take you? Did you get my
Yeah.
question?
I think I know exactly what you mean. I think it's not a very straightforward answer,
Yeah.
right? Firstly, motherhood felt like, oh my God, my social life is depleting. I'm not outside anymore, and stuff like that. But the truth is, it was almost like it was a rebirth,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think how people look at something is a determining factor of
Mm-hmm.
the results.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look at it as, oh, my life is over because I had a baby, I mean, I have to just, manage what I am now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it's going to look like. But for me, while I was going through that transition phase, even though it felt like, oh, I fought to change that narrative in my own head. There were days when I didn't feel so good and I felt like I could be outside now working. In my head, what can I do in the interim? I started to take courses. I started to learn things. I started to do things that I felt like would enable me to be a better person through this transition because we're
Mm-hmm.
going through a phase. Let's enjoy this phase. But while this phase is going on, let's not forget who we are from the inside. And when my baby was old enough to be crawling and I could say, okay, you know what? Can she stay with her dad for 2 hours? I was out. And let me tell you, the energy, the mental energy and the physical energy that has come with this phase of my life, I've never seen it. When they say mama bear, I think I've gotten to that mama bear phase because I'm like, why am I working now? I'm working because this is the kind of daughter, this is the kind of child that I want. This is where I want my child to be. Granted, we have husbands that could do a thing or two for us, but we're at that phase where we're like, oh, I know we discussed it. That's why I'm saying we.
Yeah.
But that phase where we're like, see, nothing can stop me now. I don't know where the energy has come from, but I do know that it comes from this. So there's this rebirth of I became a new person after having a baby. I became this person who did not care what other people would think about me because what do I have to lose? I don't have anything to lose. The only thing that matters to me right now is my family, my immediate
Mm-hmm.
family. So why should your opinion matter?
Yeah.
I took my baby out for a conference the other day and I took her. We were proud. We walked around with my baby. Yes, I'm going to take her around. There's nothing to be ashamed of. And there's nothing to, I mean, I get it is hard, but it's also, there's this energy that also comes with it. So moms out there or moms to be, or people that are not even married, and they know that one day they are going to become mothers. Don't listen to people when they say your baby is going to change who you're going to be, or because of your child, you did not become this person, because you can be this person and even more. So please, your baby would not stop anything. It would only fuel the kind of energy that you want to put out there now. So don't be discouraged. I know it's a lot of, oh, moms, oh my God, they had a baby and you're just sitting at home. No, please, just take it from some of our experiences that even though sometimes it feels a bit crippling, in fact, let me not say a bit, a lot crippling, or it feels like you're not going to ever get there, you definitely will get there. You get there big and better than you ever in your life. So yeah.
Yeah. So let me add to that.
Yeah.
See, motherhood changed me. So
Mm.
prior to being a mother, everyone that knows me knows everyone calls me soft babe, soft girl. I don't like
Yeah.
stress. But see, when you have a child, when you have a human being that is dependent on you, and if you're a reasonable person, you just know, especially because personally for me, especially on social media, there are so many foolish people. And I am so determined that my son or my children will not be one of those. Because I always think about, like, God forgive me, like, these people, don't they have mothers or whatever? But like just like you said, the energy, the things I've never considered doing prior to marriage or motherhood that I do, I am doing like 10 things at once. People will say, oh, when you have a mother, you can't do, when you have a mother, when you have a child, you can't. Like the energy the energy to do multiple, all of a sudden you're a multitasker. You can do, carry one baby, carry your baby in this hand, do this, do that,
cooking,
run up, like the energy that I have, the vision, like this is what I want like all of a sudden I became, before I was nonchalant, but now I'm nonchalant.
Yes, so you be challenged.
Because you know that my child was grew up in this kind of marriage. My child, so my prayer life, first of all, catapulted. I became the intercessor that God made me to be, or God called me to be, because I must pray for this home. I must pray for this child.
My child has to be okay.
Thank you. Oh, if I don't pray, who will do it? Who will do it? So not just so my prayer life changed, even in career, I became more confident because your child will teach you patience. Your child will teach you, like I became insistent when I go to the hospital, this is what I want. I became, before I would take, I don't want to fight. But because this is not just about me anymore, this is about my child, and there's no other person to fight for him but me. So if I go to the hospital, for example, I am more insistent, I am more detailed, like I want, so that, and that ends up translating to my work. Because it's, motherhood is giving me these skills that I didn't have before. So when I go to the office, I'm now able to implement some of these things that I've learned. Brave. Right? I'm confident. I can insist on the right things to happen. Nobody can intimidate me anymore. All of this because I gave birth to somebody. So don't let anyone make you feel like having a child or motherhood is a disadvantage. No, it's not. It's the way you look at it. I think the mistake people try to make is trying to rush it. You cannot rush that process. When you give birth, rest. Just rest. Forget about everything. Forget about going outside. There are seasons for different things. Stay inside your house, breastfeed your baby or feed your baby, whatever it is. Rest. Watch whatever you need to watch. Do courses, do the minimum things that you can do in that period. It's not 1 month after you're not trying to form,
macho.
I say, okay, that's when I want to, no, that's not the time. No, that's not when you want to start saying, I want to get my body back. I want to, no. That's not the time.
You see that gets your body back. I forgot my body back, oh girls. But we thank God. We are thriving.
Yeah.
I held on to that. Okay, immediately after, no, please.
Let it go.
Please, be patient with yourself. Be patient with your mind, your body. You're beautiful, you're gorgeous, regardless of what anybody might think. Because really, truly and truly, if I look at you now as a pregnant, in my head, all pregnant women are the most beautiful. In my head right now, and even when they have a baby, I'm like, you're so beautiful. Because I can see myself through them. I see what I went through. And I would never think of myself as ugly. So why should I think of somebody else as ugly, even when they went through such? So so baby girls, please don't be scared. Because like social media is making it seem like, don't say, if your life is over, please. I know it's hard. I'm not going to lie to you, but before you get anywhere, if you're digging the ground for treasure, you would go through a journey first before getting there. So let's think of life as this is a phase that will get to, the beautiful part. At the end of the day. So
So the next thing I'm going to talk about is postpartum depression, right? I'll start my own story, hear from you, right? So postpartum, I don't think I think the strongest I felt it was right after giving birth. So the first month plus, and I'll explain why I felt the way I felt. So I didn't give birth in Nigeria. I gave birth outside, and so because of that, it was just me and my husband. We're alone. And first of all, let me just say, food is life. Right? And because I was in a strange environment, I couldn't, outside of my husband, there was just nobody else. And both of us were new at this. And, the whole thing was new, having to wake up my baby was sleeping maybe every 2 hours or 1 hour. So there was no sleep. So sometimes maybe we can be crying and both of us are crying together. No, why are you crying? Why is this baby crying? Can you just tell me, like, I've given you, milk. I've done everything. I'm trying to, why are you crying? So that all, and the fact that, my mom wasn't with me. There was literally just me and my husband were trying to, figure it out. I was in a strange land with no other support system. And my husband, I give it, he really tried for us, right? And so I think that's the time I feel like I would say I was depressed. I just wanted to come back to Nigeria. I just wanted to come back home, right? And get help. And I was just like, I can remember, I even remember like when we were about to come to Nigeria, we had gotten to the airport, everything. And then they sent us back because they said, apparently my son had to have, Nigerian passport, visa, or whatever, because no, we didn't give birth then. And like both of us parents, do you think this baby just fell, fell from heaven? Most of us are Nigerians. Our plan was to come to Nigeria and then do his passport or whatever. Like, no, we had to get a visa for him before we could fly. I swear, I wanted to just lie down on the floor and say, people, I'm going to stay here.
Just let me be living with you.
Until, my husband just, comforted me, encouraged me. And cause I think I really cried. I just wanted to come. I wanted to see my mom. I just wanted to come and hug my mom and cry. Just like, mommy, I need you. Cause it was such a stress. Cause from the labor to, I think I had said that my son also was in the NICU for 1 week. It was a very scary time for me. I was also sort of hurt at God. Right? I felt like, I don't know how to explain it. Now I know it was ignorant, but at the time I just felt like God, I felt betrayed. Like I didn't expect it. I thought it was going to be easy. Yeah. I thought the whole thing was going to be easy. And I was so angry that it was not easy. Like, why is this not easy? So I felt I was hurt. And I didn't want to even pray. I didn't want to do, I just wanted to come home and come to my mom, and I was stuck. I felt like I was stuck in a strange man's country. And there was nothing else, but like you tried, but like I was still depressed. Like you just can't, you just have to experience it sometimes, just, go with it. And I just think, but thank God, I finally came to Nigeria, and I think coming to Nigeria and getting at least my mom and the support system and being able to sleep. I think that was the problem. Not having someone, like there was someone else in charge of the baby for a while, so I could just rest and sleep. And then little by little, I started to get myself back. And sometimes I would have triggers, or sometimes when the baby is just not cooperating, it could trigger some emotions and all of those things. And just knowing that even with all my emotional breakdown, knowing that my husband understands, as I'm trying to please him, it's all about my self-care. It's all about, don't worry, heal. There's no pressure. Whenever you feel like you're back to yourself, I'm here. I'm here for you regardless. Knowing that my mom too was there, my parents, my in-laws, my mom in-law too was also here. Everyone was here to sort of help me. That made my healing quicker for me. I was able to say, okay, I can sleep. I don't have to think about anybody but myself. Once I just pump my milk, I sleep. I can watch a movie. I can just do something that's only me. I'm not thinking about the baby. And I think that really helped in getting my healing faster. But yeah, how was your experience?
My experience. I'll start from the first day when I had the baby. When I first had the baby, I really did not want to take her up because I was in so much physical pain that I had this rage envelop me.
Yeah.
So at first, when I had her, I'm like, oh, my baby. But when the whole thing started to wear off, the meds that I was taking, I started to feel pain that I never felt before.
You guys.
Pain that I never felt before. And then she was crying, and I'm like, please don't bring her to me. And I felt I wouldn't call it angry. Angry is not the word. I just felt an emotion that I never felt before envelop me. But it quickly fizzled out, and I was obsessed with my baby, all about my baby, because there's this attachment thing that comes with it. So I didn't know that there was postpartum depression for a very long time. In fact, until I was kind of out of it. And for a while, I just knew that I was no longer myself, but I fought to find myself. So a lot of the time, we go through this phase in life, but we don't know that we also need to put an effort into just, even if it's a sliver of remembering who you used to be and just holding on to it so tight and then trying to fight for that part of you. I think that is one part that a lot of people forget. They don't want to fight, and it's not their fault really. Everybody's situation is different. But for me, I had to fight for the little that I thought I still had left in me.
Yeah.
I stopped going out. I stopped interacting with people. I was no longer excited, engaging with people. I used to be somebody who, the first thing that whenever I meet people for the first time, I'm always like, "Hi, I would like to get to know you," because I'm just that into people. And I know that there was like a 180. I wasn't into people anymore. I wasn't ready to have conversations with people. I was away from friends and family alike. Because my mom would say, "Oh yeah, I like to just keep to myself." But I knew it was something deeper, but I couldn't explain what it was. Because I really, really sincerely tried to stay away from articles that was about postpartum depression and the
Mm-hmm.
likes, because I never really wanted to feed my mind into projecting it, physically. But one thing I know I did was I tried to be as pleasant as I could be. I tried to think back at when I wanted to be this type of woman, because I almost forgot about it, this type of woman, the woman who is ambitious, woman who is achieving things. So I called my friend Simi and I said, you know what, I want to start recording myself. Just just talking about my life, not really intimate details of my life, but just really, oh, I'm going through this particular phase and I'm, getting better and stronger. And I started to record myself. And in recording myself, I was seeing like, oh, there's beauty in this person. I mean, I had changed physically and I know that I had changed emotionally. But then one thing remains, you're just as beautiful as you used to be. Whether you have changed, your body is no longer the way it used to be. So I started to see beauty in just making these videos and recognizing the person that I used to be. So how did I know that I had gone through postpartum depression? It's such a forbidden term, but I don't think it should be forbidden. I knew because one day I was talking to my friend and she's in America and I was like, so I'm sorry I hadn't reached out in a long time. I had a baby and this is what I was going through. Da 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 da. She's like, did you go through help? In her accent, I tried to mimic her. I'm like, help? She's like, you went through postpartum. I'm like, postpartum depression, really? And I kind of knew at the back of my mind, I'm not that ignorant to the topic, but I really just tried to not,
Suppress it.
yes,
Yeah.
I didn't want to be the, I'm projecting. You know how people say everybody now is doing, I have ADHD, I have this, I have that. But most people in the generation now are saying things like that. I didn't want to feel like I was following the crowd to just say. But to be fair, that experience was valid. And I now called another of my friend who has a kid, and I'm like, "Oh, how's your, pregnancy and your post pregnancy?" And she's like, "This." I said, "This is what I've been going through." And she's like, "What?" I said, "Is it not normal?" And she's like, "No, it's not." And then I called you. I think I asked you, and I said, "Did you go through this during your pregnancy?" I said, "No." I said, are you kidding?" Like, so this unexplainable sadness that you feel 99% of the time is not what you went through for almost a year. And then no. I'm like, what? The 1% was me fighting to be happy, fighting for my daughter not to see a sad person. So I'm like, hi, baby girl, overly dramatic, show of expression of happiness. And then in my head, I'm like, my poor husband, I need to be happy for this man. I need to make him feel like he's not trapped because I'm feeling things that I cannot explain and it is not his fault either. So that part of me would be fighting. And I noticed that I used to fight to be happy. And that's why, this whole thing of not forgetting yourself is really important because you have to fight. Like, it's such a touchy subject for me because it gets me to an emotional space. And, in that time, people are trying to help. You're not saying it.
Mm-hmm.
People want to be with you. You don't want it. And it's not because you lack a community or you lack people that love you, but your mind is telling you that nobody loves you and you're overbearing.
Yeah.
You brought this baby into this world. You have to take care of this baby by yourself. And it causes unnecessary attachment, overly attached to your child. Like, if you cannot, like, it's like you are saying the world as if you cannot take care of your child, nobody else will be able to. And I thought it was just normal for mothers and babies to have that kind of attachment, but apparently it wasn't. And it was after I had started to find my, former self, which is very little now. I'm enjoying the new journey of finding who I am now because it's so interesting. It's like, I know this is a new book. Let's see what we have in store for you. So yeah, that is the mindset I'm starting to have. Like, this is such a beautiful journey now. You're not who you used to be, and that's okay. There's still a part of you. Your essence is still here. But if you are not the girl that used to be outside, it's okay too. If you're not somebody who doesn't really like so many people around her anymore, that's okay too. And I've gotten to the stage of acceptance. That accepting of this is it, and that is okay too. Once you start to say that is okay to things that you're experiencing, it starts to shift the mind. And I know some people have it or had it worse. And to be honest, I encourage everyone to know that, see, people love you. Even if you feel like they don't love you, find the one person that you know has been there for you through and through, outside of your regular partner or your husband. Find that one person that you know that's never betrayed you or has always been there for you, and allow them in, because sometimes we wallow in these things so much that it becomes our reality. People say, "Oh, this person became such a sad person. How did this person? How did this person come about? When did this person become this sad and
Yeah.
angry?" It's because a lot of the time, I'm not even going to lie, we don't allow people in. And I started to, and I think you were one of the first people. I was like, "See, Dami, I'm going to be calling you. Like, I'm going to fight. I'm going to call you and just let you know how to see." You're like, "Oh, now of course. Like, why not? Why not you call? Just, yeah, I'm here." And I'm like, "Yeah, because I will talk. Oh, like, I will talk." And you're like, "Yeah, talk." And I started to see that truly you're not alone. And it feels like that. Trust me, in that space, you feel like there is nothing else out there. It's just you, and everybody else is against you. And it's not really true. Even though that's what your reality is saying. Just hold on to that tiny, tiny string of people that love you, and let that string multiply. That's all I can say.
All right, so let's do this or that, right? So we're gonna start with style and beauty. So for you,
This is an ambush, by the way, guys. I don't
come
know what's
on,
going on.
no. So if you're gonna choose heels or sneakers, sharp.
Okay, heels.
Really? Why do I think you're a sneakers person? Lip gloss or matte lipstick?
Two of them really depends on my
You
mood.
choose one.
Lip gloss.
Lip gloss, okay. Braids or wigs?
Wigs.
Okay, gold jewelry or silver jewelry?
Gold. Actually prefer gold.
Okay, you actually have a very beautiful gold on your neck right now.
Thank you.
Yeah. Perfume or body mist? Huh?
Perfume.
Oh, long nails or short nails? Both of us have nails, okay.
No nails.
Yay! Ice cream or cake?
Ice cream. It's kind of neither. I'm not a sweet tooth.
Pizza or shawarma? Actually, I wanted to die recently, by the way, food poisoning. But yeah.
I love shawarma. This shawarma spots.
Really?
I love shawarma.
Pizza.
Shawarma, I like pizza, but shawarma too. I love shawarma.
Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Okay, coffee. Good. That's a great answer. Smoothie or milkshake?
Neither, actually.
Neither.
I don't like either of them.
Rice or pasta?
Pasta.
Fries or plantain?
Plantain.
Plantain, girl.
Plantain. Yeah, so plantain.
Okay. Romantic movie or action movie?
Romantic.
Thank you. Love a girl.
It's gone.
Love a girl. Flowers or chocolates?
Oh, girl. I'm not going to lie. I don't really, I'm not a sweet tooth, right? So these are the two options that you gave me.
They give flowers.
This is so die. The two options you gave me now. So I'll choose. I don't like chocolate or cake or whatever. So flowers. Give me flowers.
Text. I need to answer. So texting or calling? Calling.
I'll call you.
Tall guy or funny guy? I know you're married to a tall man, so yeah. No, but your man isn't funny, so it should be funny now, right?
It's funny. It's funny in its own way. It's not funny to guys. But it's funny to me. Yeah.
Slow dancing or club dancing?
Slow dancing.
Oh.
I mean, romantic. I love my girl.
Girl trip or vacation? Both.
It's both. So you're saying both now. You're saying both. It's both, so please. But I crave a girl trip.
Yeah, I've not had a girl trip.
I'll just leave my baby out.
That baby is the problem. I need to fall out.
No, we'll drop him. I'm going.
Early bird or night owl?
Early bed.
Okay.
I can sleep by 7 if you allow me. So.
Shopping or spa day?
Shopping. I know spa
Give me the
day.
money,
Give me the money. Please, let me buy things.
Instagram or TikTok?
TikTok.
Really? You're on TikTok? I joined TikTok because of content. So normally I don't really...
TikTok has been the only thing collecting my laughs. I can see. TikTok is a funny place.
Oh my God. Really?
TikTok.
Okay.
I just joined recently, like 4 months ago, but I've been stuck. I don't go on Instagram. Instagram is
night out, movie night.
Night out or movie night?
Yeah, like night out with a club or like.
So maybe night out because I've not had that in a long time. So maybe night out, but movie night.
Night out is tire me because
I did check time.
I want to go back home.
But those are the options they are presenting now. So pick one.
Okay, thank you. So I really, really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for sharing and then being vulnerable and actually like just saying like not hiding or holding back anything. I really appreciate
vulnerable
it.
Is hard, but yeah.
Thank you so much. You're darling.